Okay, welcome to hip routine number 2. I absolutely love this routine. Now we're gonna start in the squat. However deep you can go, I want you to elevate your heels if sitting in the squat is a problem for you. Just grab some books or your shoes and just make sure you're feeling nice and comfortable. Now from here, we're gonna start getting into these falling back circles. So I'm always moving to one side, here to the left, coming out on the right, using my hands as assistance to get into this falling back sensation, and then coming back to center. I want you to pause each time and every time that you come back to center. Now, the reason that I love these is because, as you see, for me, the limiting factor for my squat are my ankles. They're a little bit stiff, a little bit rigid. So by actually moving out of the position where my ankles can relax and then moving back in gently, it allows me just to wiggle in a little centimeter deeper each and every time I do a repetition. So go ahead and try these out. Play with it and see how it feels for you. Make sure you're moving nice and slow. We're going turtle over hare here. So now for the second exercise for our internal and external rotations, just sit down, get comfortable, use your hands to support yourself. I'm going with my right side here, and we're just gonna pull our knee as far in as we can, and then push it as far out as we can. 6 reps on each side. Now make sure that you're really actively driving this from our hips. Now the way to make sure that we're doing that is by keeping everything else super still. So nice and tall posture, and then just pulling the knee, trying to feel into our hips. If you want to close your eyes and just imagine your hip muscles moving in and then moving out, go ahead and do that. I also want you to notice that my foot is just on the floor calm. So I'm rolling onto the outside of the foot and then coming onto the inside in the arch. My feet are not going to move in position. They're just going to stay right there where it is. Beautiful. I really enjoy these. These have helped me, especially if we do them over time consistently. Now from here, keep your feet exactly where they are and just start doing these rotations. So what that is, all it is me dropping my knees to one side, lifting them back up, feet stay exactly where they are, and then back to the other side. If you need to go ahead and use your hands at the start, go ahead and do that. We're just gonna try to stay as upright as possible to really make sure we're getting this nice, juicy movement from the hips. If you want a little bit of a challenge, go ahead and keep your hands off the floor. Just go ahead and stretch them out in front of you or just keep them close to you. Now, what I want you to avoid doing is any sense of rounding of the upper spine. If you're looking more like a turtle at the moment, then go ahead and use your hands until you get more comfortable and more loose in the hips. Take it nice and slow. And then for the next move, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into one of the resting end positions and go into 1990 lift. Absolutely love this exercise. So just watch one repetition. Now that's exactly what it looks like. If you think about like these Olympic games, you see those like disc or like these ball throwing people, super jacked up people. Now they have a lot of these spinning rotations, a lot of these twirling rotations. When I started this exercise, my coach, Josh Hash, he actually watched me do this and he said, hey man, try to make it a little bit more three-dimensional, because what I was doing was just lifting myself up straight and then sitting back down. What I actually want to do is I want to twist and rotate. I want to really wrap my fascia, really imagine wrapping all that tissue, coming up to the outside and then wrapping into the deepest corner of your hip. So it's really this sensation of almost like you're exploding outwards, as if you're going to throw a ball to the side, as if there's a wall on your side, you're going to throw a ball against that. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm always trying to come back down and sit both of my sitting bones, both of my butt cheeks onto the floor. This can be quite challenging, so feel free just to work in the range that you can, or elevate that, in this case, the right butt with a little pillow or a yoga block, or some books. What I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna actively push into this case my right foot, which is in this position on the floor. I'm gonna push into it throughout the whole move, so I especially slow it down on the way down. Enjoy this one. This is really gonna help us open up our hip in the long run. Thanks for joining me, and let's go move on to the next routine.